Have you ever stopped to think about what it truly means to honor your commitments? Leviticus 22 jolts us into questioning our approach to giving by challenging the very idea of acceptable sacrifices. God's standards for holiness remind us that offerings marred by defects or given out of convenience don't cut it. In today's fast-paced world, where half-hearted gestures often pass as generosity, this chapter compels us to reflect on the intentions behind our contributions. What if we flipped the script and offered our best instead of what's left over? Let's explore how these ancient teachings can reshape our understanding of generosity and commitment in our lives today. Let's read the chapter together. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to treat with respect the sacred offerings the Israelites consecrate to me, so they will not profane my holy name. I am the Lord. Say to them, for the generations to come, if any of your descendants is ceremonially unclean and yet comes near the sacred offerings that the Israelites consecrate to the Lord, that person must be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. If a descendant of Aaron has a defiling skin disease or a bodily discharge, he may not eat the sacred offerings until he is cleansed. He will also be unclean if he touches something defiled by a corpse or by anyone who has an emission of semen, or if he touches any crawling thing that makes him unclean, or any person who makes him unclean, whatever the uncleanness may be. The one who touches any such thing will be unclean till evening. He must not eat any of the sacred offerings unless he has bathed himself with water. When the sun goes down, he will be clean, and after that he may eat the sacred offerings, for they are his food. He must not eat anything found dead or torn by wild animals, and so become unclean through it. I am the Lord. The priests are to perform my service in such a way that they do not become guilty and die for treating it with contempt. I am the Lord, who makes them holy. No one outside a priest's family may eat the sacred offering, nor may the guest of a priest or his hired worker eat it. But if a priest buys a slave with money, or if slaves are born in his household, they may eat his food. If a priest's daughter marries anyone other than a priest, she may not eat any of the sacred contributions. But if a priest's daughter becomes a widow or is divorced, yet has no children, and she returns to live in her father's household as in her youth, she may eat her father's food. No unauthorized person, however, may eat it. Anyone who eats a sacred offering by mistake must make restitution to the priest for the offering and add a fifth of the value to it. The priests must not desecrate the sacred offerings the Israelites present to the Lord by allowing them to eat the sacred offerings and so bring upon them guilt requiring payment. I am the Lord, who makes them holy. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and his sons and to all the Israelites and say to them, if any of you, whether an Israelite or a foreigner residing in Israel, presents a gift for a burnt offering to the Lord, either to fulfill a vow or as a freewill offering, you must present a male without defect from the cattle, sheep or goats in order that it may be accepted on your behalf. Do not bring anything with a defect, because it will not be accepted on your behalf. When anyone brings from the herd or flock a fellowship offering to the Lord to fulfill a special vow or as a freewill offering, it must be without defect or blemish to be acceptable. Do not offer to the Lord the blind, the injured or the maimed, or anything with warts or festering or running sores. Do not place any of these on the altar as a food offering presented to the Lord. You may, however, present as a freewill offering an ox or a sheep that is deformed or stunted, but it will not be accepted in fulfillment of a vow. You must not offer to the Lord an animal whose testicles are bruised, crushed, torn, or cut. You must not do this in your own land, and you must not accept such animals from the hand of a foreigner and offer them as the food of your God. They will not be accepted on your behalf, because they are deformed and have defects. The Lord said to Moses, when a calf, a lamb or a goat is born, it is to remain with its mother for 7 days. From the 8th day on, it will be acceptable as a food offering presented to the Lord. Do not slaughter a cow or a sheep and its young on the same day. When you sacrifice a thank offering to the Lord, sacrifice it in such a way that it will be accepted on your behalf. It must be eaten that same day, Leave none of it till morning. I am the Lord. Keep my commands and follow them. I am the Lord. Do not profane my holy name, for I must be acknowledged as holy by the Israelites. I am the Lord, who made you holy and who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for His mercy. But first, if you found this discussion valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's continue to grow and learn together as we explore more profound truths in the coming chapters. Hey God, thank you for the wisdom and insights we've gathered from our study of Leviticus 22. We're grateful for the reminders about what it means to give and sacrifice with a pure heart. Help us to carry these lessons into our everyday lives, making intentional choices that honor you and those around us. May our offerings be genuine reflections of our love and commitment. Guide us in applying this knowledge, so that our actions resonate with the generosity you desire from us. Thank you for always being there, teaching us to grow closer to you. Amen. As we wrap up our exploration of Leviticus 22, it's essential to reflect on the profound implications of what we've learned about sacrifices and offerings. Are we truly giving our best, or are we skimming the surface with half-hearted contributions? This chapter challenges us to step back and evaluate our intentions. What if you committed to making a change today? Whether it's investing more time in your relationships, volunteering for a cause that matters, or simply being present for someone who needs you, every small act counts. Consider the transformative power of generosity. It's not just about what you give, it's about the heart behind the offering. Are you ready to take a leap of faith and offer something significant, something that truly reflects your dedication? Engage with your community, mentor someone, or even invest in your personal growth. The journey of becoming a more generous and intentional giver begins with a single step. So, how will you apply these lessons in your life? I encourage you to think about your sacrifices and offerings as you go about your day. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.